Contain your excitement.
I cannot. Stop the vape.
What is...
Oh. Quick outfit change, some water, and now we're off to enjoy half a day in Hong Kong because we have no time to waste. But we need food first, so we're gonna go get food.
She's hungry.
I'm so hungry, but I'm excited. You got spicy curry sauce, right?
Yep.
I did that. We're gonna go to a temple next, and then we're gonna do some sightseeing around the area.
Keep it light, you know?
Keep it light, travel day.
What's your take so far?
I'm a little overwhelmed. It's a transition from Japan, but I'm just taking it all in. It's just like plopped in the middle of the city, and it's actually relocated. So it was built in 1884, and it was away from the city, and then they relocated it here in the 1920s. And now they have to reduce their smoke emission from incense, so there's a limited amount per person. Really interesting. It's a little dwarf bunny, but he's got a badonkadonk. He's carrying some sand in his little truck, his little dump truck. We're gonna do much filming in the pet street because most of the stores are asking people not to film or take photos, but it's crazy. All sorts of pets, kind of cute, sometimes kind of sad for me, but mostly really cute. But now we're going to Flower Street. It's Flower Market Street, so we're about to see lots of flowers.
What are you gonna get?
蛋挞. Yakko. 蛋挞. Yeah, look at that. Milk tea ASMR. That is me, and me is that. It's chocolate chip.
Poetry. Pure poetry.
Welcome to 6 a.m. Hong Kong, everybody. And the only reason I would agree to be up at 6 a.m. in one of our travel days is for obviously food. So we're gonna go get dim sum. This is the vibe.
The vibe?
How's that?
That was really good. The food was really good. The vibes were immaculate. We got there at 6:30. Did not feel like 6:30 in there. That place has been open since 3 a.m.
It's been open since 3. But we didn't have waiting time. Usually there's always a wait time.
Yeah.
We kind of got the last seats at 6:30.
That's not true because a guy came and then he was seated next to us in that tiny table.
Oh yeah, that's true. Honestly, I feel like they would have made like a whole bunch more seats. Like as people just come in, they pull up a stool.
Yeah, they're just like, they told the guy like, pick up a stool right there. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then we had another buddy. A lot more comforting than Japan in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Okay, next up, we have a big commute because we're gonna go to the cable car to Lantau Island. Well, we're taking the train to Lantau Island, taking the cable car to see the big Buddha. Tummies are full. The landscaping is we were here and now we're here. It's pretty close, but we had to do all of this. But it was pretty fine, honestly. The thing about being a tourist in Asia is that you show up 20 minutes early, thinking that you're gonna be the first, and there's already a line. We're not at the top of our game, but we're earlier than we would naturally be if I was on Brazilian time. A little anxious.
Wow.
We got the crystal cabin, so it's glass floor and glass walls. And I don't know if I love the idea of being in like a suspended glass box really high off the ground. But it'll be fun. Okay, we made it. That was really cool. If you're a little queasy like me, maybe a Dramamine, but that was amazing. But do you see it?
Right behind Doraemon.
Oh my god, it's big from here. I can't wait to see it up close. Oh my god. This is me, 5'7". That's the Buddha, the big Buddha, 34 meters.
It's kind of big.
Very big. Oh no.
Yes.
So the big Buddha, Tiantan, is 34 meters in height and over 250 metric tons in weight, fully made out of bronze and finished being built in 1993. And it was made alongside the Puolin temple that is right over there, which is where we're going next. But this is beautiful and so calm and serene. The 268 steps to get here are supposed to be a contemplative exercise up as well. So you can kind of feel, maybe the kids not so much, but you can feel how all the adults are like more serene and calm here than they were down there. Looking at the map. Okay, next up we're taking the bus and we're going to Tai O village, which is a fishing village, for lunch. So no one else got off the bus but us. Looks cool.
Fishy?
More like shrimpy. The udon is like well coated in like oil.
Goes down easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was okay. We're taking yet another mode of transportation today, and that's the ferry, and we need to wait for the ferry. So we have smoothies and a view.
Made it.
Another mode of transportation in Hong Kong unlocked.
Back from our journey, and it's only 3:35 because we've been up since 5:30. Time to eat a snack, shower, rest, and then eat again. Good morning. It is Saturday, our second full day in we're not in Tokyo. Our second full day in Hong Kong, and today we're having a more low-key day, but we are seeing a few things. But first, I have to eat. Charlie's been on a call this morning and I'm so hungry. So we're gonna eat some pineapple buns and then we'll figure out what's next. Museum? Oh, McDowell statue.
McDowell statue, first things first.
Yes, sir.
Real piggy shit.
Yes, sir. Let's go. I'm hungry. Oh yeah, much better than the other one. That's the amount of filling that you want. You want enough filling. The shell is still crispy and layered. Got the sweet hit, but not too sweet. Perfect.
就是犯罪的经历。
Stumbled upon a site.
It's a
Mansion.
historical monument.
So Tokyo Mansions is really a melting pot for a whole bunch of different businesses, restaurants. It has many different global influences. So you'll see there's like halal places, there's African restaurants, there's Indian restaurants, and so on. And it's also known for it being for having a whole bunch of bed and breakfasts and hostels, and it's said that it's kind of like one of the cheapest living accommodations in Hong Kong for guests and so on. It's within this building, so if you look at the signs, there's a lot of guest houses and hostels in the signs because that's where people are staying, and the rooms are known to be real tiny. And why is this a famous spot for us, babe?
One Car Y.
That's right. Our boy Wong Kar-wai depicts a lot of his movies from in here, or a lot of the stories cross here. So it's kind of a monumental touristy place because of his depictions of it, at least in our opinion. That we stumbled across it when we were actually just trying to go see a little piggy statue, but I'm glad that we got to go. Like those more that way. Look at the view. Am I posing right? I'm sweaty. It's much bigger and shinier than I expected it to be.
Small piggy in a big city.
I know. Low blood pressure calls for fries and water.
Small fries from
Five Guys. In the bougiest shopping mall. Greasy bag. The basement has more accessible brands like Yves Saint Laurent and Armani.
Meanwhile, in New York, if you go through the underground passage, you'll just get a free stabbing.
I know. Crazy. We're at the Hong Kong Museum of Coastal Defense. So good.
Good morning.
Good morning. Today we're headed to a different country, just for the night. Come with us. Discover where we're going. It's a mystery because we're mysterious people. Just kidding. We're going to Macau. This is like the third boat that I'm getting on since I said that I wasn't getting on any more boats since snorkeling.
Thoughts in Macau?
It's so bizarre. I can understand everything in Portuguese. But it's also really cool. Also, Macau has a crazy history. It was leased by the Portuguese from the Chinese government for over 300 years, from the 1500s to the 1800s. And then it was actually signed off to the Portuguese in the 1800s and then forfeited back to the Chinese government in 1999. So it has like huge Portuguese influence, but also obviously huge Chinese influence. It's also kind of like the Vegas of the East, so huge for its casinos and gambling. So I'm super interested to see what that looks like. It makes 7 times the capital that Vegas makes, so it's like huge. And also, last fun fact, it's one of the most densely populated territories in the world. It has 700,000 inhabitants, but because it's so small, it's super packed. So we're super interested to see what's up today and tomorrow. But first we need to figure out how to get around. So we're at the train station, we're gonna try to get some tickets and then take a bus to go see some architecture and Portuguese influence and eat some Macanese food. So let's go.
Definitely isn't Hong Kong anymore.
No, crazy.
Mild case of cultural vertigo.
Yeah,
Here.
it's so confusing to be here because it literally feels like being in Brazil, but also where everything's in Chinese, but it's eerily familiar. It's just like mumbo jumbo. Like I'm resisting the urge to speak in Portuguese here.
I'm resisting the urge to order stuff in Portuguese.
Yeah. It's very confusing, but really interesting and cool. Delicious. This bacalhau is so good. Onions, potatoes, creamy fish. Charlie's itinerary has brought us to a old firecracker factory. Let's go see it. So we just had the most interesting little walkthrough tour of the history of the site, and let me just start out by saying that they were so excited that we were actually interested in the history of Macau, because most people come here for the casinos and the gambling and the kind of high-rise constructs that are back there, and so it was really interesting to actually hear a little more about the history. So this was a firecracker company since around the 1920s, and it was so interesting because originally firecracker companies and factories were in the Macau island. Right now we're in Taipa, and the Portuguese government essentially had those companies and factories move here because Macau was more densely populated and it was just way more dangerous. So you'll see they've taken a few security preventions for when there were explosions or fires, because by default it's a firecracker company. So there's walls in between, and then there were also carved out rivers and ponds in the case that there were fires. So that was really interesting. Right now the industry is no longer here. It's mostly in mainland China where there's cheaper labor, but it's interesting that they've tried to maintain this historical heritage site as a part of Taipa and its history.
People are really friendly here.
Yeah, Charlie is right. We're super surprised because people in Hong Kong too, but here they've been so friendly. Like we weren't even gonna go into where we went to get the tour, but the guy was like, yeah, come here. And so that's been fun. Just for context, we arrived here and took a train through all of the like new build MGM, Venetian, Parisian casinos, like all gold. And then we walked for 10 minutes and now we're here. What?
But it actually makes sense why all that stuff is in Taipa, because if you saw the old map, it was all mostly empty.
Yeah.
1,000.
Yep.
According to our buddy Sky.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of construction happening.
we are at Avencedora, which is a Macanese restaurant at the heart of what I assume to be the historical district of Macau Peninsula. We were in Taipa earlier. And right now we have minchi, which is a very traditional Macanese dish. I'm very excited. I've been really excited to try this place out. We got the roasted pork loin. We also found the cheat code to the minchi is the chile en vinagre. That's what I'm gonna call it because it reminds me of La Morena. I feel like I could imagine somebody's grandma back there like making this for me. Like, cause I could feel it's not like the most culinarily complicated food, but I feel the love from a Macanese grandmother through this meal, and I think that has its own high value attributed to it. And with that, I'm gonna try the pork loin, which actually kind of reminds me of how I would get pork from like my own mom. It doesn't taste exactly how it looks. When I said I got no Cantonese flavors from this, but imagine if you gave a person from the Iberian Peninsula just Cantonese or just Chinese like soy sauce, oil to make what they're used to making. It has the same flavor that you would expect from bistec encebollado, but it's pork loin, and the sauce itself feels like it has a hint of soy sauce and like a Chinese oil.
Good morning from a sunny day and humid day in Macau. This is our second day here, and we have a full itinerary, mostly of sightseeing for Charlie and his research. But first, we gotta find some food. It's been pretty brutal, the weather, I'm not gonna lie. And yesterday was really interesting. We didn't close out yesterday, but our reflections were neither of us know how to gamble. So we just saw the gambling lights of Macau. We saw some shows, but we came home because we couldn't figure out how to gamble. And when we did, the minimum was like 500 patacas, which is not budget poor for us. So today is hopefully going to be a little more up our alley. We're going to go see some churches, some ruins, and just generally feel the vibe of Macau. So come along.
Established in 1587 by 3 Spanish Dominican priests who originally came from Acapulco. Originally built in wood.
It's a crazy intersection between being here and then the priests coming from Acapulco, Mexico. Intersects well with your research.
Intersects well with my research. It also intersects well into both of our backgrounds.
I know, right? Let's check it out. 1587. Crazy.
Oh my gosh, I am sweaty. So this fort was built in 1622 to protect from Dutch invasion. You'll have to excuse the appearance. It's the most humid and hot it's been in this whole trip. But we have finally gotten our hands on our pasta di nata. And it's the much awaited moment. It looks so good. It's delicious. This little burnt layer at the top makes such a difference, but it's sweet, vanilla-y. It has that like silky texture inside and the flaky outside. Fantastic. Better than an egg tart, in my opinion.
Oh wow, all right.
We want Macau. Macau doesn't want us. Our restaurant is closed. So
I think they were like, if you can't spend more than 24 hours, we don't want you.
yeah. So we're headed to the ferry now.
Did a lot though.
Yeah, we definitely did a lot this morning. Last thing is a 20-minute walk. Woo!
We made it.
We made it back to Hong Kong. Gonna get some food in us, and then we're gonna figure out where the rest of this day or evening goes. But it's a quick 1 hour ride, super smooth. I mean, I'm a little baby, so I get seasick, but super smooth, good nap, AC'd, fast. Here we are.
You see people down there like eating at a fancy spot. I'm like, what's wrong with you? There's meats on rice, literally 5 doors down. I feel like people don't know what's good anymore. It's delicious.
Returning from our quick food break, an overview. It was delicious, so good. The goose was so good, so tasty. My noodles were delicious, but it was expensive as hell. It was, for what we got, it was approximately $15 each of those little plates, US dollars. So it was a $30 meal, whereas in 8th Avenue in New York, we would get that for like 14 bucks together, both plates, with 1 extra meat each, plus like a thick layer of rice and some cabbage. So it's a mix. It was delicious though. I will not contest the flavor, cost aside, but you can find it for cheaper.
Not to mention the legendary Chow Yun Fat frequents the establishment. So why are you packing?
I'm afraid I must go. Well, it's bad news, but it's good news. But I'm going on a little, hopefully little traveling hiatus because I need to go back to the US because I got my notification that I am going to my naturalization ceremony. So I need to fly all the way back to the US, get naturalized, take my oath, get my new passport, and then return to the Strip. So this one's gonna be on his own for at least a couple days while I go get that stuff sorted out.
Pray for him.
Pray for him. Pray for me and pray to the passport gods that my passport's issued quickly so that we can return. But we will likely see each other at the earliest in our next destination, which is Korea. sad traveling aside, we do have one more day in Hong Kong together. So we're gonna go get dim sum with a friend and then actually decide what we're gonna do next from there. We're doing laundry. Boom.
So I'm not the only one that leads us through suspicious alleyways.
This wasn't suspicious.
It's like looking into the future.
Just finished dim sum, and now I think we're just gonna check out the area, do some vintage shopping. Now we gotta write some messages to loved ones. Just wrote some postcards, had some ice cream, and it's pouring outside. But I think we're still gonna try to make it to the vintage shops. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay, then let's go. Got trapped inside the ice cream shop for a lot longer than we thought because it started raining. But now we're back on track. Let's go look at some vintage stuff and try not to slip in this wet concrete.
Which one are you getting me?
This one. Did not listen. And then I'm getting you this one. Messy.
Yeah, but right under it is the one I'm getting you work faster because everybody knows you're taking your sweet ass fucking time with these videos.
Hey.
I think this is Chop Alley. I'm not sure entirely, but I know it's around here. There's a bunch of chop stands and it's not all a bunch of tasty little treats as I imagine.
Are we gonna get one?
Let's see how much they cost. Basically, we could get a stamp with our names, or if we have a business, you could have like an official seal to mark off all the official documents. So let's take a look.
Exciting. The last thing we'll do today is go in a long ass escalator. I think it's the longest one in Hong Kong, but I don't know, I'll get my facts and put them on the screen. Let's go. It's at a reasonable speed. I'd say 9 to 10 kilometers per hour. They have moving walkways and escalators. I think 3 escalators and then a whole bunch of moving walkways, which is what where we're at.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. You got your laundry?
Smells fresh.
It smells.
That was 40 HKD, so about $5.
Wow. Smells good as hell, yeah.
Same day. Side quest time. It's an emotional moment.
Always with live music.
Bye. Be good. Well, she's America's problem now.